Hey guys, welcome back to Boosted Gaming. Today we're not going to be bringing you a Division 2 build video. We're actually going to be bringing you some Watch Dogs gameplay or information. Depends on what I want this video to be. But I will say there's a key little thing in there that I don't think anybody's realized when you're going through your video settings. Um, there's a neat little tool in there. And I tried to play around with that tool a little bit. I'm going to show you guys what I mean. And let's talk about it. Hey guys, so I just want to kind of take a quick look here. So I've been playing a lot of Watch Dogs. I've been hearing a lot of things where people are having issues with crashes and trying to run ultra settings and crashing, and then all kinds of different horror stories, right? So I went in and I was playing around with my options because I have an Alienware M15R2, and once you go into all your video settings, you can see I typically run everything on ultra on almost every game I play. What's cool about this game though is when you do your settings, it'll tell you your VRAM usage. It'll tell you how much you have versus how much you're using. And then it also tells you how to fix your CPU, how to fix your GPU, right? So when you're going through and you're setting this all up and you're trying to look at, okay, what are the best settings for my system? You know, the cool thing about Watch Dogs is it tells you how it's going to affect your system. Ray tracing, DLSS, it's no longer just let me put it on ultra and see how it's going to do, right? You can actually go through and see how it's going to potentially affect your system. What kind of load it's going to put on your CPU, what kind of load it's going to put on your GPU. And this is a very graphics intensive game. Like, don't get me wrong, the graphics and stuff are amazing. So I went through, I was playing around with this, playing around with the settings, and I happened to look down on the right and I see this run benchmark. Well, I don't think I've seen a run benchmark in any other games other than this one. So I was like, all right, cool. Let's load up the settings. So this will let you run a benchmark and see how your system's going to perform with this game with whatever settings you have chosen. And then at the end, it's going to tell you how your system did, which is awesome. In my mind, I think that's a fantastic thing. So you can see here we have ray tracing on, we have DLSS on here. And you can see that, look at the overall environment, right? So look at the lighting, look at the reflections, like down in the puddles. Look at, the guys running on the walkway there. So look at the walkway, right? How crisp does it look? Like look at the lights shimmering off. Look at the walls and the lighting, the dynamic lighting on everything. It looks fantastic, right? So again, this is the one with ray tracing on. This also has DLSS on. So DLSS is going to help take some of the strain off the GPU. Excuse me. But it looks gorgeous. It really does. The shimmering from from the water, the droplets, the movement of everything, it all looks fantastic, right? I think it looks great. And that's what this benchmark is for. It's so you can kind of see, what is my system going to do? Is it going to stutter? Is it going to tear? Is it going to run super smooth? What actual load is going to the system itself? And when you take everything into account, from lighting to shadowing to, look at that, guys. That just looks gorgeous. Granted, that guy, when he fell off the car, was kind of in the air for a second, like he was levitating, but that seriously looks gorgeous. So now you take a look at this, right? So it's going to tell you your frame rate. It's going to tell you your max FPS, your average FPS, your minimum FPS. It's going to tell you your VRAM usage, your full load. It's going to tell you your RAM, CPU, GPU. Obviously, it tells you a little bit about what the system has, right? Like I said, this is an Alienware M15R2. This one has the i7-9750 in it. It's got the 2080 with Max Q. It's a decent system. Don't get me wrong. And I've had a lot of good experience with it. But like, look at the load, right? And then look at all this stuff. So ray tracing on, DLSS on. Look at how much load the system went under, right? And then you look down here and there's a note. It actually tells me that the impact is because of CPU performance. So negative impact because of CPU performance. Like, what the hell? I thought this was going good. But when I set it up, I knew when I initially set it up, I was actually overusing my VRAM, right? So I had over 8 gigabytes when my VRAM's only 8. So kind of going through and taking a look like, okay, what can we change to give our system better? So I turned off ray tracing. I'm going to turn off the DLSS, and then I'm going to rerun it. But I want to leave it on ultra settings because I still like ultra settings. It's what I run every game at, and I've never ever had an issue. Now, like I said earlier, this game is very graphics intensive. So, you know, you're going to see my bed in the background. Weird. You're going to see what happens when we change up a few of these. So now we're under our VRAM usage, and we're going to run this again, right? So now we're going to run the same benchmark, but we're going to, like I said, we're going to keep ultra settings, but we're going to take off DLSS as well as ray tracing. So the system should run a lot smoother, a lot better. You know, we're still going to be maximizing our GPU, but let's see if we see any differences between ray tracing on, ray tracing off, right? We're going to take a look here and see if we notice anything. You know, does our FPS go up? Does our FPS go down? You know, how does everything look lighting-wise, shading-wise? You know, look at all the little fine details, because that's where ray tracing really comes into play, is how everything plays together in terms of lighting and all that fun stuff. So, I mean, I have to say, though, even on ultra settings, man, this game still looks fantastic. Turn off the ray tracing and it still looks great. But, yeah, I will say that ray tracing does make the game, I think, look even more gorgeous. Like, honestly, London, when it comes alive at night in this game, is just insane. It looks fantastic. I was asking a few people that actually live in London who I game with, and they said it's, like, to scale, dude. It looks exactly the same. So, never been to London. Hoping to get there one day. But yeah, guys. I mean, let's look at this. So, still really smooth. No shearing. No cutting. You know, no little stuttering of anything. It all still looks great. Right? Let's see. Any subtle differences? Maybe pretty subtle. You know, a little subtle. But still a fun thing nonetheless, right? So now we look at our current frame rate. So max frame rates, our average, the minimum. Again, VRAM was maxed out again, right? So even without our stuff turned down, it still maxed our VRAM. Our CPU load actually shot up a little bit. Our normal RAM was about the same. And then you look here at the settings or the impacts, and then look at this. It actually tells me that I had low CPU performance again and not enough video memory. Still not enough memory. And that was with DLSS off and ray tracing off. Guys, that shows you how this game, even on ultra settings, can be super, super demanding, right? But at the same time, it's an awesome looking game and it's fun, man. It really, really is. I've been really enjoying my gameplay. I wish I could stream it, but unfortunately, when I run it on ultra, I can't stream it for you guys because my system would probably crash into a million pieces. But that's all I got for you guys on this video. Hopefully you guys take something away. Hopefully you guys like this because I thought it was pretty cool. Like I said, I thought this was phenomenal. I really enjoyed this. But being able to see how the system's going to act and all that stuff, I really like that. So, but anyway, guys, that's the end of this, man. Y'all stay classy. Remember to hit the link below for our Discord. Join us there. That's where you can find us every day, all day. Me and TSW, greatest team in the world. Also, make sure to hit that like button, that sub button, and I'll catch you guys in the next video, all right? Y'all stay classy. Peace.